Hello, this is Dr. Hassan Abdullah with the course Web Applications Programming. And the topic which we are covering is HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap programming. And the topic in the list of topics is topic number 8. So we have the lecture 8. And we have a lecture 8C because this topic consists of three subtopics. This is HTML, which is lecture 8A, then CSS cascading style sheets, which add a lot of interactivity to your web page, which is topic 8B. And now we have topic 8C. So 8C Bootstrap, the correct word should have been Bootstrap strap web programming, because that's a framework that uses HTML, that uses JavaScript, that uses CSS, and developed by Twitter, and it results into very interactive and intuitive and powerful and quick websites, front end basically, and using a grid based approach. And we will cover some examples of it, and you'll see the power of it. And then of course when you do the semester project you will learn more about it. So we have covered the HTML in 8A and CSS in 8B. And in this video, we will cover the Bootstrap web programming, which is 8C. So this course and the other videos and the course content, they are developed using the supplemental website, which is a personalized learning management system. And it has some wonderful features which facilitate and which help you get the most out of it. So it provides full text search, basic and advanced, and you can search for the topics or the material of your interest. And if there is any visual disability, the user can set the font size, the color, the line spacing, the type of font to facilitate, to maximize. And the content is displayed and is presented in a nested hierarchical fashion in a manner, and that helps facilitate. For example, you have the bullets, then you have the summary, then you have the explanation of the bullets, and then you have the references and diagrams if needed. And of course there are online exams also to practice, to know what you have learned. And the system also identifies the weaknesses, and the system tracks your progress, so you know what you have covered, what you have not covered. And of course it is uh, beneficial, and it has been optimized to work on small devices also, like smartphones, their alignment and everything. So this is all explained in these 6 videos, and these videos are available at this URL, or you can go to YouTube and type my name, Dr. Hassan Abdullah, and it'll take you to my official YouTube channel where these videos are available. And the approach of this course is maximizing upon the question and answer based approach, which is very proactive and which is very engaging. Okay, and it promotes thinking, and of course it also capitalizes on the traditional approach where data and facts are presented. So it's the best of the both worlds, which is topic number 8, HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap programming. Now, within this topic, there are 15 questions and answers, which is the approach of this course. And each of those 15 question and answer is a concept. And within that concept, there are the bullets, then there's a summary and their description of the bullets, there's a diagram if needed, and their references. So in 8A, we covered the first five Q&A, and in 8B, we will be covering the next five Q&A. Okay. Now the list of Q&A is there. So this is just to give you an idea, to prepare you what you will come across. So what you come across when we go to the supplemental website, then corresponding to each of these Q&A, there will be active live links. So we'll click on those links and we'll go ahead with the explanation. Thank you. So we look at the last set of Q&A and the concepts for HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap, which is section and video number 8C. So what is Bootstrap? Now Bootstrap is not in the context of operating system or booting a machine, but is the Bootstrap with reference to the creators of Bootstrap, which were working at Twitter at that time. So what is Bootstrap? Basically, it's a responsive design, and it is responsive. It is quick, and it has a dynamicism in terms of how the different components are placed on the screen and how they move effortlessly, flawlessly when the screen size or the orientation changes. So that's a beauty of one of the beauties of it. So it's a very responsive design technique. And then is the component library. Component library means that there are pre-created buttons, pre-created menus, pre-created models, and other interesting things which are pre-created. So there's the component library, and that adds standardization and it cuts down on the errors and it increases the quality of the prototype also. So very quick prototyping, and which is of course rapid prototyping. So let's now go into some of the details. So Bootstrap was is an open source front end framework. Framework means that you don't have to actually do the down component level coding also. So it is developed using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript components, so you don't have to do the coding. And there were two Twitter engineers, Mark Otto and Jacob Thornton, who developed it. So responsive design is the grid system. Okay, the grid system will adjust fluidly across various screen sizes. This is very important in the context of different devices. And of course, those devices are desktops and tablets and smartphones. And on top of it, the smartphone's rotation, right? So that is taken care of using Bootstrap. And it is good for valuable for teams of individual developers who want to prototype quickly, okay, without working from scratch, right? And it ensures a cohesive user experience across an application. Why? Because these things are standardized. And why it is being used? Because it is free, okay. That is not the only reason, but because it is also well documented and it is community supported also. So this is the 12 column fluid grid system which I mentioned, and this system uses the breakpoints, right, and applies the specific styles as per the screen widths, and not only the screen width but also the screen orientation also. And of course, it makes it easy to hide and show elements, easy to hide and show elements, change the layout behavior. Because if the screen size is small, the width is small, then you cannot show all the elements. And if you try to squeeze all the elements, they become very tiny and unreadable. So because of Bootstrap responsive design, only those things or those items are shown which can be read and which can be understood clearly within the available screen size. So then there is the component library. So it's a robust collection of pre-styled and ready to use UI components, which are like buttons and alerts and models, and will briefly discuss them also. And that of course enhanced by JavaScript for dynamic behaviors. So this course is not about bootstrapping, but you should know a little bit about boot, bootstrapping. And so, what is the benefit? It's this flexibility strikes a balance between efficiency and branding. So, what is the branding? Branding means that you can also override the styles. And as we have discussed in video 8b, that we can have different types of enforcing the style. So those styles can be used to enforce and to have the branding. And of course the there is broad support, right, and it can help the beginners as well as experienced developers. And rapid prototyping, so the benefit is that you can very quickly release minimum viable products, okay, and this is good for freelancers and small businesses, right? And of course this helps to validate the concepts and demonstrate features, right? Get user feedback, right? Without committing to full scale development. No need to make the full scale thing and at the end get a no or maybe or something like this. So this is the benefit. These are the benefits. So this is these are the default. So no media queries since this is the default Bootstrap, right? Extra small devices, okay, portrait phones less than 576 pixels. So you see that it can go up to 1200 pixels also, right? So this is one of the benefits of bootstrapping. And if you're interested in knowing more, here are the references, additional references. So now I will give you a simple example of a web page without Bootstrap, and then we will add Bootstrap features, and you will see that how it changes. So without Bootstrap, which is a standard HTML, title of the page is My Services, H1 font size, My Services. I put a paragraph, and it puts spaces at the two sides also. Then it's just getting repeated. So my services, web design, development, consulting, and so on. Now when we add Bootstrap and we also add font awesome. So here this is the external CSS, right? And it is being called from this address. And then this is the Bootstrap CSS. This is font awesome. And these are some of the classes which are called in the body. And this is the div or the division. So this class container py-5 is applicable up till this point. And then there are other div classes also for formatting purposes. And this is repeated. And what do we get? We get this. So you can see there's a big difference between this is plain HTML and this is the HTML with the bootstrapping applied to it. Okay, and you can see this is very professional looking. This carries a lot of meaning. And if somebody is promoting web design development and consulting, this shows that this person is living somewhere in the history, and this conveys a very positive image and has a positive impact. So what is a bootstrap model? So model is a pop-up dialog box. It's a pop-up dialog box, and that box can have many properties and features, and you don't have to actually code it. So that you just have to call the model and set the parameters and the colors and the font and the message and so on. So this is customizable content area. It is up to you how you want to it to appear, and it of course it is triggered by events. That event could be click, that event could be something else. And layer display, let me explain it to you, then I'll show you also. So it is like a pop-up dialog box. You can have pop-up dialog boxes in JavaScript also, but this is very powerful. And we'll do some pop-up dialog boxes in JavaScript also, which is topic number 9. And what can be used? You can capture user input, confirm actions, show alerts, load dynamic content, and so on. You can do a lot of things. And the benefit of Bootstrap model is that you don't have to do detailed coding for it. Okay, and it is a layered display, and because this is interactive and non-intrusive. So they are used a lot in forms and confirmation dialogues, right? Okay, dynamic content loading, so you can change the contents of the model also dynamically. Okay, so let's look at some details. Okay, just hold on for a sec. All right. So pop-up dialog box is one of the fundamental characteristics of model. And as I mentioned that unlike JavaScript built-in alert boxes, they offer more control and customization. Okay, and it can be semi-transparent overlay, and it's up to you. And the model can contain structured content, can have images, can have forms, can have text, can have buttons, okay, and you can dismiss them using the close button. So this is very powerful, and that adds a lot of interactivity in your application. And these bootstrap models have they're completely customizable, right? And it could contain login credentials, okay, and it can have the cancel button, it can have the submit button, and they are very suitable for CRUD operations, okay, create, read, update, and delete. And they are triggered by events. And what are those events? Those could be button clicks, that can be page load. So for example, there's a page load and a model comes up, says something, you click on a button and a model comes up and says something, and so on. So it lets you keep track of things. Layered structure, visually isolating it from the rest of the page with a dark overlay, right? So that makes it clear to the user, okay, and so that makes it readable also. And built-in accessibility features. So let me explain it to you. So for example, let's look at a basic model. That's a basic. So this is the black background. So I close it. I can put a message here, whichever I want. Centered model. It's again black background, centered. Scrollable model, right? So this is the scrollable model. Is look at the size. Model with the form. So model with the form. I can put my name, and you can put your email address. Okay. Static backdrop model. You cannot close this model. Okay. Understood. All right. Fine. This is the code for these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 models. So you can copy this code and try these models. Okay, so in addition to the models, models are not used very frequently, but buttons are used very frequently. So benefit of using Bootstrap buttons. These buttons have a visual hierarchy also, and there are certain standard buttons for the user guidance. They have standard colors also, and they are very responsive. And these, as I said, that the colors are standard, but they have branding consistency also. One is where that you just use those standard buttons, and it is understood that what each button does based upon its color. Or of course you can use CSS to shape or color them. Accessibility improvement. Let's look at what is meant by accessibility improvement. Okay, they align with the web content guidelines. They are natively keyboard navigable, okay, and they are following certain standards. And of course, the color and size have an impact. High contrast buttons, white on dark background, enhance readability. Users with low vision, okay, but that is limited. Larger buttons help users with motor impairments, okay, using assistive devices. So these buttons help people having impairments, okay. So that's the benefit of having these buttons. And of course then there are button types. For example, blue dot btn primary button, this is for sign up. And then there are buttons which are for some message also, or something related, or go buttons. So they have their colors and everything. So this is the primary button which I mentioned. This is the success, this is danger and warning. And you can see the colors are there, and the colors here, the colors are contrasting: dark green, white text, and yellowish orange or mustard color with the black. So there are outline buttons also, and you can see that they change the color also. So you don't have to actually do a CSS coding for it. Small button, large button. So there's a block button, and then there's a code I've given here. You can copy paste this code to create your buttons. You don't have to look for it. And then is the button is disabled, doesn't do secondary disabled, and of course you can disable them. So the last Q&A, what are the benefits of using Bootstrap drop-down menus? Drop-down menus, they are space efficient. Okay, so they have already been developed in such a way that they don't take a lot of space, and they have improved navigation, so you can go from one point to another point. Point means that in the navigation, and the design is easy, and they are responsive, and of course they are customizable also. Let's take a look at them. So what is the purpose? The purpose is built with accessibility in mind, right? And of course having support for array attributes. And with Bootstrap, a drawdown can be implemented in just a few lines of HTML, right? So this is a very powerful thing, and it saves a lot of time and effort and errors also. And because they conserve the screen's space, and this is very useful for small screens when you're using smartphones, and they are taking care of every pixel, right? Every pixel matters, and allow multiple options to be hidden under a single clickable item. So this is very good. So basically, drop down resolve this by presenting an expandable design. For example, when we have a website with product categories, user account settings, documentation, so you can group them in a very intuitive manner, and some of them that has already been done. Improved navigation, logically related links under a single menu headings, and it provides access to sub pages or features. Okay, without requiring to use user to load a new page. So this is very the things are built already built there, so you don't have to do your, or you don't have to reinvent the wheel and make mistakes also. And they improve accessibility in search engine optimization. All right, so let me give you certain examples. So this is the basic drop down. I click on it and I have this. Then I have the drop down with divider. So you see I have these, and they have a divider. Drop and at the right side, then I have drop up upside, drop down with headers. Okay, and right align, this is right align. So you see that there's a lot of good functionality, there are a lot of good and excellent features, and there's the code for you to create these menus. So that's all for this topic, which is 8C. Thank you very much.